Hi everyone, welcome back to the Cancer Care Coloring Channel. If you have never been here, this is Cancer Care Coloring Channel and I'm Alex. And this is me doing something totally new. This is me actually doing a coloring video on the Cancer Care Coloring Channel. So it did dawn on me that considering the name of the channel and the name of my whole project here, that I should actually do some coloring videos. So I've decided to jump right in and start doing some videos starting with markers. And in the past, I've never been a fan of markers or working with markers for coloring anyways. I love them for outlines. But Copic markers and this is a combination of alcohol-based markers and Copic markers, and they are just so popular, and I've seen so many artists doing such cool work with them on YouTube that I felt like I had to start learning. And so what better way than to jump right in and actually do it. This is the cancer creature that I'm working on right here is, I don't know, he's just sort of reptilian. He's sort of like an octopus. He's got the tentacles. He's got weird, I don't know, he's almost got a stretched out Kermit the Frog face with demonic eyes and teeth. So I just felt green would work. And I wanted muted greens. I didn't want bright, intense, in your face. But I wanted it to show, I hoped that they would show up a little brighter in the video. And I'm having issues with my cameras. I use OBS for my recording software, and it doesn't save my camera settings. So every time I set up to do another video, I have to reset all of the settings, everything, exposures and focus and just all of it. And then when I restart it next time, I get to do all of it again for both cameras. So it's frustrating, and I can tell you that the colors are actually more vibrant in real life. So I guess I'm going to look at possibly finding software that will save my webcam settings. Let's see here. I like the markers okay. I don't love them. I work on, trying to get some depth and shading and some highlight. I think because I know how to color, especially with colored pencils, I try to apply that to how I'm working with the markers, and I think some of it is successful and some of it not so much. I'm positive as I continue to learn, I will get better at this. So bear with me, and you will hopefully see some growth as I continue to add coloring videos. I'm still going to do the drawing videos as well, and I am still committed to keeping the videos under 10 minutes. The blue tongue right there with the stripes is a little bit of a nod to Tim Burton and Beetlejuice. I just felt it's a little playful, and I know it's the subject matter of white blood cells fighting cancer cells. It's not a very playful subject matter, but again, this is my art, and this is my therapy, and not only the way I visualize my white blood cells battling my cancer cells, but just the act of drawing them and now the act of coloring them. And so I just get lost in it, and if some of it comes across as a little bit playful, then I would say that that's a good thing. I think that even when we're facing serious things in life, it can be extremely helpful to find some fun and some lightheartedness in it. I want to give a shout out to my students at Gananda. I have new subscribers to the channel, and I would like to say hey to them. And they actually ended up pushing me up over the 100 subscriber mark, so I want to thank them. And for those of you, I had a little blob there on the white blood cell that I didn't expect from a Copic marker, but there it was. I still have to learn how the heck to use these things. For those of you who have followed my story all along, I tried to go back to teaching this school year. I was out all last year with my cancer therapy, and thought I had gained enough strength back to go back this year. And it took all of 6 weeks before I realized it was too much for me. Between the physical and the mental, I guess I'll say strain, it just ended up becoming very apparent to me that I just wasn't going to be able to stay on. So I'm back on sick leave now, and we'll see what happens. I've got my next set of scans at the end of November, so we're keeping fingers crossed there. So that's that. On to the white blood cell guy here. I just have to mention, I shaded the cancer cell first with the dark green, and it worked out really well. And then I decided to do most of the shading on the cancer cell first with the red, and he ended up looking very bloody. I don't know. For the older crowd, I'm sure you know, but for the younger crowd, you may have no idea. Freddy Krueger comes to mind. He's got sort of a Freddy Krueger looking thing going on right now. Wasn't intentional. I just thought like a sort of a healthy pinkish hue to the character might go well. We want him to look healthy, and usually we think of sort of pinkish, as a healthy. Maybe a little bit too much red, so I'm going to have to look at that moving forward. But I don't hate it. I just have to keep that in mind. It's not like I plan out every single color in a little sketch off to the side beforehand. I really just decide what color scheme I want the character to have overall, and then I go with it. At this point, I feel like the alcohol-based markers, I'm not loving much, but I like the tips because it's easier to control them. They're not as squishy. The Copic markers, the tips are very squishy. It's almost like coloring with an inky paintbrush. And it's easier to go outside of the lines, but holy cow, it covers so quickly. I can understand the appeal. And you also, especially that the little bit of Copic, this is Copic that I'm doing the background with, you can layer it over itself and actually get a value scale with it. And it's not like a Crayola marker. There's definitely, if I had spent more time on this, I think, and maybe if I had like 3 different purples to work with instead of just the one dark one. But I have to be honest, at this point, I was over 3 hours into the video and I was ready to be done. So this is me just wrapping it up, and it's a learning experience, and I'm glad I took the time to do it. I will continue to do so. And that is that. Okay, so I think that's going to do it. I like it. There's definitely room for improvement. But overall, considering it's my first real attempt to do something with the Copic markers, it was a learning experience, and I like it. I definitely have a lot to learn, though. Okay, so thank you for taking the time to watch through the whole video. I don't know how long this is going to end up being. I ended up a little over about 3.5 hours, and it's getting late. It's 20 after midnight, so I should probably get to bed. But, yeah, there we go. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing, and all of the contact info is at the end. And I will see you next time. Peace.